Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you on here, and I hope you guys can try these mandalas and have a fun time doing it. So before we get started on the mandala design, I'm going to explain our tools. So the tools I use are color-coded, so they have a color on the top of the tools. When you buy them off of Temu or Amazon, they usually just come clear. So first off, for the twirly tools, I do not use the green twirly for any of my tutorials, so you can set this one aside. As for the rods, the largest two rods, I, again, also do not use for any of my tutorials, but if you're doing like a bigger project on your own time, then of course you can use these. So now to help you understand what I have color-coded, you can lay them out biggest to smallest. The biggest one, which is the green one, next size down, we have it marked as the blue stick. And then next size down after the blue is the white stick. After the white stick, it's the yellow stick. And then we have the pink stick. And then last but not least, trying to pick them up, is the black stick. And then of course we have the twirlies. These are self-explanatory. They are color-coded already. You can color code them yourself. We use just nail polish on the tops of the tools. We can get started with the design now. Okay, so before we get started on our coasters, we're just going to practice some designs and techniques that we're going to use. So for the first design we're going to practice, we're going to use the pink stick and the pink stylus tool. So we're going to take the pink stick first. You're going to dip it into the paint. And you don't want to dip just the edge, you want to over dip a bit, so getting a good amount of paint on there. Then you'll place a dot, and then with the pink stylus smaller end, you're going to drag the paint down to make a teardrop. So to make sure you get teardrops like this with a smooth edge and not like this, after you pull down the paint straight down, I like to just go along the edges and kind of smooth it out just a little bit so it's a more gradual change. Okay, moving on to the next design we're going to practice. We're still going to use the same tools, starting with the pink stick. You're going to dip into the paint and place a dot. Then you're going to take the pink stylus bigger end, dip into the paint, and place a dot right above. Then you'll switch to the smaller end, dip into the paint, and you're going to drag the paint down and around on both sides. Next, we're going to take the white stylus tool, and we're going to use the bigger end. And we're basically going to practice these swishes, but just on a larger scale. So again, make sure you have a lot of paint on your tool. I like to swirl it around in my paint to make sure I get enough on there. Then you'll place it on your sheet of paper and slowly drag. So two different ways that you can make them longer, because if you just do once, they come out kind of short. So you can either drag it out once, start from the beginning, and like this, just in long strokes like this, or how I usually do it is you do in almost like little pulses like this. So you can get them longer. Two things you want to make sure you're not doing is whenever you're retracing it, you don't want to start from the middle or from the tip of the swish, because if you do that, it's going to leave like a bump. So always make sure when you're retracing that you're starting from the beginning point of the swoosh. And then also don't kind of go back and forth like this, because then it's just going to dull out this end and there won't be that sharp point. And for the last thing we're going to practice, we're going to use the pink stick and the pink stylus. It's a technique called walking the dots. And for today's class, we're going to learn 2 different ways to do it. So if you look on this coaster here, it's almost like a pointy leaf, but then on this one, it's nice and round. Okay, so we're going to start doing the pointy version, which is most of the time like the regular version that you do. So you're going to start with the pink stick, you'll dip in the paint and place that center dot that we're going to be placing the small dots around. Then you'll take the pink stylus, the bigger end, and then you'll dip into the paint and place a dot above this bigger one. So for these pointy ones, what you want to do is want to place this first dot just slightly higher. You want to leave a little bit of room between the initial dot and this extra dot that we're putting. So you want to leave more room. When we do the round walking the dots, we're going to put it nice and close to this dot, but here we want to leave a little bit of room so that it kind of points up at the top. Then you'll switch to the smaller end of the pink stylus, dip into the paint, and then without re-dipping, you're just going to dot halfway around, then you'll re-dip, start back up at the top, and go around the other half. And right now we're just practicing with 1 layer, but the more layers we add on here, the pointier it'll get. Now for the other walking the dots, we're going to start the same way with the pink stick for that big dot. Then you're going to take the pink stylus and we're going to start with the smaller end this time. You're going to dip into the paint, place a dot, and remember for this we want to get it nice and close. We don't want to leave any space between. We want to get them really close. And then because for this one we started with the bigger end, then we switched to the smaller end. For this one we're going to stay with the smaller end, and then you'll just re-dip and start right next to it, and just same thing. Dip once, do around half, dip again, and do the other half. And you should notice a difference between the two, that this one has a nice little point to it, and this one's just nice and round. When we do this on the coasters and we start adding more layers to this round one, you're gonna have to be a little more intentional after we place this first dot and when we kind of do the sides, you wanna make sure that you're not putting it too far down like this, but you wanna put the dots like more side by side rather than a pyramid like over here. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna get started on the coasters. The first one we're gonna do is, I look at them and I think of this one as the pointy coaster and this one as the round coaster. Because if you look at the designs, this one's almost more rounded and this one has, I don't know, just looks more pointy. So we're going to start with the middle dot. We're going to use the blue stick and we're going to use paint color 4. And we're just going to put this middle dot right on this little mark that you have in the middle of your coaster. Then we're going to take the pink stylus, the smaller end, and we're going to use paint color 1. And to make sure our design is symmetrical, we're going to place 4 guiding dots. So you're going to place 1 dot and then another one right across from it, like this. Then you'll find the center of these 2, place it to the side like that, and then 1 more right across from that one to get these 4 dots north, south, west, east. And once you have those 4 dots with the same tool and same color in each of these gaps here, you're going to place 3 dots. So I like to place 1 in the middle and then 2 to the side, like that. Next step, we're going to take the white stylus, the smaller end, and we're going to use paint color 2. And we're going to place these dots above the gaps of the row we just did. So instead of placing it straight above a dot like this, we're going to place it above the gaps, like that. And then just going all the way around. And then what I like to do to make sure that my design stays symmetrical throughout is continuing that north, south, west, east, and then 3 in each gap. Okay, moving on to the next step, we're going to use the pink stick with paint color 3. And again, we're going to place these dots above the gaps of the row we just made, but you're going to do every other gap. So if you're following the north, south, west, east like I am, you're going to place the 4 dots. But then instead of placing 3 in each gap, you're just going to place 1 in each gap like this. So you should have a total of 8 of these dots. Next up, we're going to take the white stylus, bigger end, with paint color 5, and we're going to place these dots in between the ones we just made. And just make sure you're getting nice and close to the center of the mandala, kind of wedging it all the way down in there. Next up, we're going to take the pink stylus, the bigger end, and we're going to use paint color 4. And you're going to place 2 dots next to each other like this, and then 1 more right above like that. So these 3 dots in like this pyramid shape.
What color is that?
4.
And what, the small end?
Big end.
Oh, big end.
Next up, we're going to take the pink stick and we're going to take paint color 1 and we're going to put these dots right above those little pyramids we did. Next up, we're going to take the pink stylus and we're going to start with the bigger end and we're going to use paint color 5. So with the bigger end, you're going to place a dot right above, then you'll switch to the smaller end, dip in the paint, and drag the paint on both sides. Next up, we're going to take the pink stylus again. We're going to start with the bigger end. We're going to use paint color 2. So with the bigger end, you're going to place 3 dots in a pyramid shape. Then you'll switch to the smaller end, dip in the paint, and drag the paint on both sides. Next up, we're going to take the pink stylus, smaller end, with paint color 4, and we're going to do another pair of swishes, and we're going to start slightly lower than these ones that we just did, and you're just going to do them right side by side, like that. Next up, we're going to take the black stick with paint color 4, and we're just going to put these dots right above the 2 little swishes that we did. Next up, we're going to use the pink stick with paint color 3, and we're going to place these dots above the smaller ones we just made. Next up, we're going to use the pink stylus with paint color 2, and we are going to do our pointy walking the dots. So just like we practiced, starting with the bigger end, you're going to place your first dot, leaving a little bit of room. Now, then you'll switch to the smaller end, dip in the paint, and place the dots around halfway,
We're
redip.
going for more pointy one on this one?
Yes,
Okay. And color 2?
yes.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we're going to use the pink stylus again, and we're going to use paint color 5. Bigger end for that first dot, and then you'll switch to the smaller end to go around. Next up, we're going to take the white stylus, and we're going to use paint color 3. And basically same thing we've been doing, bigger end for that first dot, then you'll switch to the smaller end to go around. Next up, we're going to use the white stylus, smaller end with paint color 1. And we're going to start in between the second and third dots of our walking the dots. And we're just going to drag the paint down and around like that. Next up, we're going to take the pink stylus, bigger end with paint color 5. And we're going to again start lower than this swoosh that we did, almost a little less than halfway. And you're just going to do another drag on each side. And then the last step for this coaster, we're going to use the black stick and the pink stylus. And we're going to use paint color 4. We're going to take the black stick, dip it into the paint, and we're going to place a dot right where our swooshes start. Then with the smaller end of the pink stylus, you're going to drag that paint down to make a teardrop, and then also up to make like this little sparkle shape.
Yeah. You said the smaller end of the pink stylus?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started on our second coaster. Now that we've had a little bit of practice from the first one, we're going to pick up the pace just a little bit. So to start off, we're gonna use the blue stick with paint color 4. And again, just placing that middle dot right on top of that mark. Next up, we're going to take the pink stylus, smaller end, with paint color 1. And we're going to place those 4 guiding dots, north, south, west, east. And then in each gap, we're going to place 3 dots. So just like the same steps that we did on the first coaster.
Number 1?
Yes.
Smaller?
Yes. Next up, we're going to use the pink stylus again. We're going to use the bigger end with paint color 5. And same thing that we did for the last coaster, we're going to place these dots above the gaps. Next up, we're going to use the white stylus, bigger end, with paint color 2. And again, placing these dots above the gaps. For the next step, we're going to do the exact same thing, white stylus, bigger end with paint color 4 above the gaps. Next step, we're going to take the pink stylus, smaller end with paint color 3, and we're going to place small little dots right in between the dots of the row we just did. Next up, we're going to take the pink stick with paint color 2. Sorry, not paint color 2, paint color 1. And we're going to place these dots above the little small ones we just made. And we're going to do every other one. So again, you should have a total of 8 of these dots. Next up, we're going to use the pink stylus. We're going to use the smaller end with paint color 5. And now we're going to be doing our round, walking the dots. So using the smaller end, you'll dip in the paint, place a dot nice and close, dip again, and go around. Next up, we're going to take the pink stylus again. We're going to use paint color 4. We're going to use still the smaller end. So again, just smaller end for that first dot. Just dip again and go around, trying to maintain that round shape. Next up, we're going to do one more round of these walking the dots. We're going to take the pink stylus, bigger end with paint color 2, and same thing we've been doing. Place one dot, re-dip, and just go around. Next up, we're going to take the pink stylus, bigger end with paint color 3, and we're going to place 4 dots like this to get kind of like this diamond shape. Next up, we're going to take the pink stick with paint color 1, and we're just going to put a dot above the 4 little dots we made. Next up, we're going to take the pink stylus. We're going to start with the bigger end, and we're going to use paint color 2. With the bigger end, you're going to place that first dot, switch to the smaller end, dip in the paint, and do a drag on each side. Next up, we're going to take the white stylus, the smaller end, and we're going to use paint colors 4 and 5. We're going to use paint color 4 first. You're going to place 2 dots like this. Then you'll wipe your tool and use paint color 5 and do a drag on each side like that.
So the first color is
4.
4, okay.
Next up, we're going to take the black stick and the white stylus, and we're going to use paint color 4. We're going to take the black stick first, and you're going to place a dot above the 2 smaller ones we did, and then with the white stylus bigger end with paint color 4, you're going to drag around.
What color was the dot?
Everything is paint color 4.
Thank you.
Yeah. Next up, we're going to use the white stylus, bigger end with paint color 1. And we're going to start right next to the edge of the coaster. We're going to make these switches here. So we're going to start out a little, curve in, and then down and around. So you're going to start out a little bit, curve in, and then down and around. Okay, for the last step, we're going to take the pink stylus and we're going to use paint color 3, and then the other 2 colors are up to you, because what we're going to do in these little spaces here is we're going to make a little flower and then just do a little row of dots straight down from it. So the colors for the flower you can choose, just choose the color for the center of the flower and for the petals of the flower, and then we'll use paint color 3 going straight down. So we're going to use the bigger end of the pink stylus. You'll take your center color, whatever you decide to choose, then your petal color, and you're going to place 2 petals across from each other like that, and then 2 on each side like this to complete your flower. And then with paint color 3, you'll dip once and dot that paint straight down like that. And once you guys are done with those little flowers, you are all finished with your coasters.
really cool.